Hi everybody, it's Tristan here from Evolve EdTech and welcome to our brand new video series exploring School AI. In this video, we're going to take you through one of the wonderful tool features that are available through School AI that will make your life as a teacher much easier and will enable you to make sure that we are differentiating and catering for our diverse students. So at the moment over on my screen, you can see that I am on the School AI website, schoolai.com. It is absolutely free to sign up to at this particular point in time of recording. So please go and sign up to this wonderful tool and experiment with this tool to see if it's right for you to add to your teacher EdTech toolkit. So we are going to go and jump straight into this. I have already signed in to my School AI account on another tab, and I'm going to jump over to that tab right now so that we can get started. Now, once you head in and you sign up to School AI, you will come up to this fantastic homepage, which has lots of wonderful information on it. So today what we're going to specifically be looking at is one of the tools up here in Tools, ironically. So I'm going to click on Tools to help me as a teacher in ensuring that I can create wonderful resources for my students that are important and relevant, as well as a whole range of other tools. In each video, I'm going to go through and just show you one tool at a time so that we can go through and we can really get into the nuts and bolts of that particular tool. So I will go through most of these. Some of these I won't show you in this video series because I think that they are tools that require a little bit more in-depth knowledge than I might have myself. And it's probably not the best to demonstrate those on a video, just like this one here today. So today we are going to go and have a look at the wonderful lesson plan creation tool. So we're going to have a look at how we can generate and modify comprehensive lesson plans. So if you're somebody that's required to generate comprehensive lesson plans and submit those or provide those for evidence, you can create and generate these with School AI. So how about we jump straight in and start exploring how to generate lesson plans with School AI. What I'll do is I'll conduct a couple of different examples just to show you how to do this. Some from primary school, and I'll try and think of something from a high school setting so that we can see how this tool can be used across multiple settings where you may teach. All right, so basically all you do when it comes to School AI and using the tools is you follow the prompts and you add the information that the tool is asking you for, and then that will help the AI to generate whatever the particular tool is that you are using. So in this particular case, we are using the lesson plan option. So the information that we include in this particular set of criteria essentially is what's going to be used by the AI to generate a lesson plan. Now, the wonderful thing about this is that the lesson plans are editable so that we can go in and we can check them. Because remember, AI is a tool. It is an assistant. It doesn't take away from the need to go and examine things from a human perspective. Okay, so we still do need humans to make sure that what the AI is generating is appropriate and relevant for our students, our context, etc. So let's start off perhaps today with this first example, looking at something from maybe primary school. So let's look at here, let's stick with this idea here, which is the water cycle, because that's a nice, easy one. Maybe we're looking at the water cycle in science in primary school. We are going to select our grade. I'm going to go maybe 4th grade. I am a primary school teacher, but I have primarily taught in high schools, so it is not something that I am entirely familiar with when it comes to the primary curriculum and syllabus. So what would we like to focus our lesson plans on? So let's focus on the water cycle as a general introduction. Okay, so maybe we're introducing the water cycle to our students for the very first time. Okay, so we just want a general introduction to the water cycle. We don't want to delve too deep into any of the ideas just yet, but we will leave that. All right, you will see here that there are Common Core standards. Obviously, this is a very American-based tool, so do not stress about that one. you do not need to include that. All right, you will see a couple of boxes down the bottom here. Okay, it is a school-ready resource. So these are made specifically for teachers in schools. They are available on your school network and they're fully FERPA compliant. Okay, so if you're in a jurisdiction where you need to make sure that it is FERPA compliant, all right, it is absolutely. All right, we do have a little box here advising us of some limitations, that it may occasionally generate incorrect information. It may occasionally produce biased content. So that is where that human perspective and checking and editing is really important. And it has limited knowledge of the world after 2021. So just be aware that anything really recent might be difficult for the AI to take into account. So once we've popped in the information that we'd like to add here, obviously the more information in additional details, the better our output will be. So let's click generate and see what we get with SchoolAI just here. So it will take a few moments just to generate here, and then it will pop up here with our lesson plan, beautifully laid out with our objectives, materials, our procedure being generated here, as well as some suggested timings. Okay, beautiful, some extension elements here. Okay, we've got some standards here. Obviously, if you're based in somewhere like Australia where I am, that will probably be incorrect. So you might like to swap that out with your relevant outcomes or standards or whatever you use in your particular jurisdiction. So you can have a look here and you can see, you know, do I like all of this information? Okay, you might say, yes, it looks all hunky-dory. Okay, and there's a couple of things that we can do with it. All right, we can share this. All right, okay, by clicking the share button up here in the top right-hand corner. So that will now allow us to go to a new tab and share that with somebody else. So it might be part of our team. It might be something that we're sharing with our students on one of our LMSs, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, whatever you are using, etc. Okay. We can also export this to PDF if we'd like to export it to a PDF. We can also, okay, I'll export it there. We can export it to a Google Doc as well. It's not going to let me because I'm not signed in. I'm using an incognito window, but you can also export it to a Google Doc. All right, we do actually have the ability here to go and edit this particular lesson plan if we don't feel it is quite right for us. So let's say our objectives here might not be quite right. What we can do is we can highlight that section, head up to this purple AI tools button in the top left-hand corner, and we've got a number of different options here. We can customize the prompt, we can simplify, we could fix spelling or grammar, we could make this shorter, longer, we could change the tone, okay? So maybe we'd like to change the tone to something a little bit more child-friendly or humorous, okay? We've got our too long, don't read, and we can emojify, or we can translate into a number of different languages here if you have students from different language backgrounds to your native speaking languages. So let's say here we'd like to simplify this a little bit more. So all we do is highlight it, click on AI tools, and there we go. We have simplified that lesson objective or those lesson objectives. And basically we've summarized it into essentially one paragraph now. It's probably still a little bit long for my particular likes, okay, but it definitely has summarized that. So we could probably have a look at that again. Okay, let's simplify again. Let's see what the AI comes up with this time. Yeah, I think it's simplified that a little bit more. It's taken out a little bit more of that information to make it a little bit more simplistic for our students or our co-teachers or other people that we might be working with when it comes to using this tool. So there are a number of really cool things that you can do with this. We can also, obviously, if we'd like to, we can change sizes. Okay, we can, all right, bold things. We can do all of those formatting options, and we have access to those, which we have access to when it comes to using any other word processing document like Google Docs or Microsoft Word, etc. But it's a really cool tool in being able to generate a really quick lesson plan that you might be able to use. All right. I would also make sure that I'm checking this, just like I mentioned earlier, making sure that it is right, making sure it's meeting your objectives or outcomes. So it is a guide. It is a way to get started with creating and generating wonderful lesson activities and creating those lesson plans that you could use with your students. So that's one example just there. All right, up the top here, you can change the name of the document so that it makes it easier for you to find it in future. All right, so we do have all of those elements that we also have in every other processing tool. We will just quickly jump over here. I just want to show you this over here on the right-hand side. We have a little button here that's called our prompt, okay? And this is where we can actually go and edit that initial prompt that we inserted and we created for the AI so that the information here is going to be exactly what we're looking for. So maybe we could pop in some outcomes here. Maybe we could pop in some more information so that it's meeting those in that particular lesson plan. Another little feature, a little tip here is just here underneath your tool, you will find a little button. And this one here says one document. That means that I have created one document using this particular tool. And just here, they will all appear. So it'll be in a nice, clean kind of folder for you to be able to access and to find in future, which is fantastic. So let's head over and generate something for a high school teacher. I am a high school English teacher, so I'm going to pop in something that I am looking at this term. So we are looking at an introduction to poetry. I'm going to go year 9 here. Okay, so I'm going to pop in here, focus the lesson on introducing students to common poetic devices and examples. So I always like to check that my students understand and remember a range of those poetic devices that might be used in poems that we're going to explore. And in this particular lesson, I'm going to check and I'm going to introduce them to these poetic devices as well as hopefully some examples so that they are ready to dive into the poets that we are going to explore. So here we go. It's generating a wonderful looking lesson plan at the moment. Okay, we've got some very clear objectives there. We've got our materials listed. Okay, we have our introduction. Okay, introduction, direct instruction, guided practice. Looking pretty good, okay? So there would be plenty just there for me to get started with a particular lesson if I would like to do that, all right? Maybe, again, if I'd like to, I can highlight my section and I can pop in here, okay? And maybe I can change the tone of this to a little bit more child-friendly so that if it's something I'm going to share with my students, okay, there we go. That is definitely much more child-friendly. So if we were going to pop this onto a learning management system, that is how we could do that. So there we go. This is one of the wonderful tools that we can access through SchoolAI to generate and modify comprehensive lesson plans in mere moments. It's going to save you a ton of time. It might be a savior if you're looking for some new ideas and your brain is just mush because you have so many other things going on in your day-to-day lives as educators. So head over to SchoolAI and have a look at this wonderful tool and see how it might be something that you could add to your teacher EdTech toolkit. Well, that is our little video for today to introduce you to the lesson plan tool available on SchoolAI. Go and check it out today and see if it's right for you and let us know. Make sure that you connect with us here at Evolve EdTech by heading over to our website, evolveedtech.com. Make sure that you check out our social channels, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And make sure if you haven't done it so far, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to the Evolve EdTech YouTube channel, because by liking and subscribing, you are continuing to motivate us to create wonderful new resources to support you with your EdTech journey and to help you have fun with EdTech in the classroom. Anyway, my name is Tristan. Thank you so much for joining us again for this video. Join us again next time as we continue to explore more of the wonderful tools available from SchoolAI. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and we will catch up with you again then.